Cokie Roberts, you're with Cokie and Matt Dowd. Again, and it's partly the candidates, it's partly media, it's partly the Times, but it just seems to be everywhere.
We were pretty stressed watching last night, right? It is. It's everywhere, and it's also that throughout the whole season, there's been so much upset about it. The Republican leaders saying that Donald Trump is not qualified. So then people who are Republicans saying, well, what should I do? And a lot of Democrats not liking Hillary Clinton. So people are very upset about what their choices are and what they should be doing about it. But it's also just rude and crude and yelling at each other and all the things we tell our children not to do.
Yeah, and speaking of that, we're all adults and we're feeling stressed, but our children are watching too. I had 3 around the TV last night, and I know, Matt, you're not just a political analyst, you're a father of 4. Yep. This is having a real impact on them as well.
Yeah, and I have 10 brothers and sisters too in this. It's had an impact on everybody. What's happened is that the patterns of behavior that people have now watched in their adult leaders is not a good pattern of behavior that's been reflected, I think, in our children in this. And the normalization of the sort of all the things that we tell our kids, don't call names, don't get angry, they're seeing in their leaders, and I don't think it's a good thing.
I had my daughter yelling at the TV last night. You know, I mean, she was reacting emotionally.
And teachers are saying this as well.
I was going to say, we got a letter from our 6th grade daughter's teacher saying she had a debate with herself whether or not to even teach the election.
That's what there's been a lot of stories about that, and I have 6 grandkids, and they are very much the same ages as your kids, and they you know, there's a tremendous amount of conversation about it as well. They really are aware of it in ways that you haven't seen before, but they're puzzled about how to react to it.
And Matt, I wonder what kind of impact this is going to have on Election Day. You know that both sides now are simply trying to fire up their supporters, and the question is that going to work? Are we going to see a high turnout election, or are people just going to be turned off and walk away?
Well, I think we're going to see the lowest turnout election percentage-wise that we've seen in 16 years. We'll see a low percentage-wise. I think the problem for this is the partisan bickering that's gone on between these 2 political campaigns has left out a majority of the country who really isn't bickering in that partisan way. I think the truth is, with all this emotion going on, we actually need more of a pastor initially than a president.
So each candidate had a minute to make their case. Was there any chord of unity at all that you heard last night?
Well, Hillary Clinton tried. I mean, she talked about the country is great because it's good, and bringing people together. And that's what she has to do, really, for the next 19 days. If she really is as far ahead in the polls as she looks like she is, she has to move to that position.
They could take a little page from Abraham Lincoln, his 2nd inaugural address, and after the Civil War, with the malice towards none, charity for all, when he said, let's strive to bind the nation's wounds. That's what they need, to bind up the nation's wounds.
And will the voters follow? That's another big question. Matt Dowd, Cokie Roberts, thanks very much.